Hello and welcome to Rogers TV Community News. I'm Carla Fitzsimmons. Big news for commuters who use the GO train service on the Kitchener line. It will be extended to weekends. New services start on November 23rd. The province also announced Thursday that it has reached a deal with CN Rail to purchase land needed to build dedicated GO transit tracks along the Kitchener line.
Today, we're in Kitchener, one of the fastest growing communities in Canada. And as it grows to a city of over 400,000 people by 2051, service has to keep up. So we are taking the next big step on the Kitchener line. We have reached an agreement in principle with CN Rail to purchase the land necessary to construct additional tracks to separate freight and passenger service through the Halton subdivision. The Kitchener Extension project will add 40 kilometers of new two-way track, creating dedicated GO transit tracks on the Kitchener line, and will enable future two-way all-day rapid service between Kitchener and Toronto. In the meantime, starting November 23rd, we are expanding GO train service on the Kitchener line. For the first time ever, there will be weekend GO train service to Kitchener.
Right on, brother.
With 4 trips that currently end at Mount Pleasant extending through to Kitchener GO. This is obviously a very, very exciting day for Kitchener and all GO train users for this area. We're also adding 18 new weekend trips between Bramley GO and Union Station, along with new weekday trips to keep people moving, making life a whole lot easier for people who count on this line to get where they're going. Public transit is a key driver of our economy.
All aboard! More GO Transit for the Kitchener line. I am thrilled to be here with all of you today on this transformative occasion for Kitchener and the cities and townships that make up our broader community. Minister Pravmeet Sarkaria, thank you. Your government, initially with Ministers Yakabushi, Yurek, and Mulroney, and now in particular, your leadership in this role over the past 2 years has been key in getting an expansion of this much-needed service unlocked for our communities with this agreement in principle with CN. When you took on this role, you committed to me in our first meeting, the Ontario government will get there. You will get there. You just needed a little time to deal with CN. And today we are standing here with this exciting news.
So I think one of the things to remember here too is it's not just about sort of what that future state is, it's the little incremental increases that are going to happen as those construction works are going on. So 23rd, I believe, of November is when we're going to see the weekend trains, and subsequently after that there will be more weekday and peak trains that are going to be added on. So it's not just weekday, pause, and then eventually we have those. You'll see those incremental increases as we go. So I think that's something maybe that's been a little bit lost in some of the conversation today. So I just wanted to get that out there for you folks as well.
It just got a bit easier for travelers from Waterloo Region looking to fly out of Toronto's Pearson Airport. Air Canada bus service is doubling the number of buses bringing passengers from YKF to Pearson. Starting on December 1st, 10 luxury coach service trips will be offered. Trips leaving YKF in Breslau start as early as 5:30 a.m. and go as late as 8:25 p.m. Coming back from Pearson, the trips range from 7 a.m. to 10:15 p.m. Waterloo Regional Police Service has released a draft of its proposed 2026 budget. The proposal includes a $20.14 million increase, bringing the total budget for WRPS to $272.6 million. More than half of the increase goes towards police expenditures, including contractual and cost of living adjustments. It's been 4 years since the murder of 18-year-old Joshua Bennett, a student studying at Conestoga College. WRPS is renewing its appeal to the public for information, and it's offering a reward of up to $50,000.
September 24th, 2021, so 4 years ago, he was found at 4:30 in the morning in the area of Paulander Drive, deceased, and the post-mortem found it was cause of death was multiple stab wounds. So for a few years now, we've made continual appeals to the public. To your point, that we are absolutely convinced that there are a number of people that know exactly what occurred. They were likely involved, but then there's people within a network that would have some sense of exactly what occurred. So the purpose of the news release was to, again, remind our public that there was a $50,000 reward available for credible information that leads to the arrest and successful prosecution of those involved. And, for our community, for Joshua Bennett's family, and just for that sense of closure, we will never give up trying to bring justice and accountability for what has occurred, and that work is ongoing.
Cambridge councillor Adam Cooper will not face a dock and pay after the Integrity Commissioner found he had violated the city's code of conduct by posting a meme back in January that was labeled transphobic. The 28-page report recommended Cooper have his pay suspended for 10 days and to be formally reprimanded by Cambridge City Council. Before any voting took place, Councillor Adam Cooper had the opportunity to speak to Council. Here's an excerpt of his 14-minute address.
Despite what anyone wants to think here, all the people that don't know me and want to claim this was homophobia, transphobia, it was none of that. I was going to say I love the LGBTQ community. I'm not going to say that because I don't discriminate. I hold love for everybody. I'm going to continue what I've been doing for years, for 8 years, for years before I became a councillor. And that's to stand up for the residents of this city, the businesses, sometimes doing it on issues that some people are afraid to tackle, which means I get attacked. I'm used to this. It's happened a lot. But I still stand proud in knowing that I know the main issues, the big issues that we're dealing with in Cambridge. We've got lots of big issues. We're in the middle of a cost of living crisis, homelessness, drug-related crime. I've been standing up for seniors' rights in the long-term care homes, excessive rent increases, all this stuff that really matters to the people in this community. And I'm also going to continue to speak to the things that some people find uncomfortable but need to be said. I'm going to keep doing that. That's what I do. I'm not going to stop. And when people attack me and claim I'm hateful, so be it. But please think about why you're doing it and thinking about what it's going to cause at the end of it and whether it's productive. I love every single one of you here, and I thank you all for being here. You're here because you're passionate and you care, as do I. Peace and love to you all. Thank you.
When it came to a vote on docking his pay, council was split down the middle with a 4-4 vote, meaning the motion didn't pass. Council did settle on a formal reprimand and for Councillor Cooper to complete sensitivity training within 3 months. Tuesday's meeting was the first time in nearly a month council chambers and gallery had been open to the public. On September 23rd, the council meeting went online due to a threatening voicemail. It prompted increased security and an absence from in-person meetings. Earlier this week, police concluded their investigation into the incident, and no criminal charges were laid. No details have been released about the identity of the person who left the threatening voicemail or what the contents of that voicemail were. Cambridge City Council will continue to implement security measures and safeguards, including bag checks at council meetings, controlled foot traffic and access points throughout City Hall, and additional security enhancements to council chambers. The role of a fire prevention officer is to enforce fire safety codes through inspections and public education. Leslie from Cambridge Fire shares some life-saving tips.
I'm here today at Cambridge 6 Station, which is located on Boxwood Drive, and I'm going to have you come along with me and we're going to talk about some prevention aspects and what we do as prevention officers. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about are these kind of heavier doors we see often around your apartment buildings, office spaces. They have automatic door closers on them. These doors are actually rated with a fire safety resistance. So when we prop them open, you're taking away that effectiveness. We have these little door wedges around. You got to bring your groceries in, maybe you're bringing a bunch of office supplies in, it all happens, but let's keep in mind we need to release that door wedge and ensure that it's going to be effective if an incident occurs and if a problem arises. Okay, so we're looking at exit signs, which maybe aren't so common in your everyday home, but they're going to be in your apartment buildings, in businesses. And what we want to make sure is that the property managers or the business owners are ensuring that all these signage are clear of debris and are functioning properly. So with this case, this one needs a little cleaning. Okay, another thing that we're looking at when we're doing our inspections are sprinkler heads and them being clear of any type of debris. So cobwebs, paints, and even that spray foam, anything that's going to cause a defectiveness to the device, we have to ensure that the heads are clean and clear of any type of debris. Something that's more common in your home, which is your smoke alarm. So one thing that can cause these things to malfunction are these pesky little guys. These spiders or bugs can sometimes get in there and cause them to malfunction. And a lot of the times people think they need to replace it, but really sometimes it just needs a good cleaning, a good vacuuming. This is the same with any smoke detectors or detecting devices that might be connected to an alarm panel of some sort. Just make sure you're cleaning and vacuuming out the devices before you think you have to go ahead and replace them. It's just proper maintenance of them. Okay, so another thing we inspect when we're out and about, we are looking at your fire extinguishers. So a lot of people actually have these in their homes, which isn't required. But when we're inspecting them for businesses and apartment buildings, they do need to be checked monthly and then also annually. So monthlies can be done by your property owners or a designated person on site, but the annuals need to be done by a technician that's trained. What we're looking for the monthly inspections, you want to look at your pin here, make sure that it hasn't been pulled, and also your charging. There's a green area which will probably show the zone of which it's properly charged. And if you find that this arrow is not within that charged area, that signifies that the extinguisher needs to be charged or looked at. So another thing we're looking at when we're doing our inspections is to ensure that our exits are clear of any type of debris. So you don't want to be putting side tables or furniture in front of the doorways of your exits because that's where people are going when they're in a hurry. Make sure that you're not leaving them in those areas because they're not allowed to be there.
It's a simple act of kindness that has a big impact.
Treat Accessibly is a movement to make Halloween in Canada the first accessible holiday tradition in the world. Our goal is to not only support children with disabilities, any disability, at any home across the country, but to raise awareness and education amongst homeowners how to be inclusive, how to notice a child with disabilities and address their needs and make it a more inclusive world. Treat Accessibly started in 2017. Our 6-year-old daughter and I were putting pumpkins on our stairs, something you take for granted, and she looked up and noticed a little boy using a wheelchair. And she looked at all the houses on our street and they all had stairs to the door. So she asked, how does that boy trick or treat at our home? And of course that question impacted us as parents. I still get choked up thinking about it. And the first thing we did when we walked in that house was make a sign, much like the one you see behind me. It said accessible trick or treating. And we planted it on our lawn a week before Halloween. And on Halloween night, we treated from the end of our driveway. And that night, sparked a movement, and now over 250,000 homes across Canada have the sign and treat accessibly on Halloween night, and we're aiming for 1 million by 2030. Any home can do this. It doesn't cost anything. There is no infrastructure changes. You treat from the end of your driveway. 2 ways to support the movement is follow us on Instagram, go to our site, treataccessibly.com, and find out where you can get a free lawn sign while supplies last. Interviews like this are making them go pretty quick. And treat on Halloween from the end of your driveway or your lawn near the sidewalk.
Thanks for watching this edition of Rogers TV Community News. I'm Carla Fitzsimmons. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday at 5.